Hiya, I'm Anne Francis and I'm a Salesian sister of St John Bosco. The Gospel for this Sunday, the third week of Easter, is one of my favourites. It tells the story of the two disciples on the road to Emmaus and Jesus walking alongside them. For me, there are three main themes in this Gospel, and those themes are accompaniment, encounter and witness. The first one is accompaniment. Jesus meets the disciples on a path because they're on a journey, a physical journey from Jerusalem to Emmaus. They're walking 7 miles, it tells us in the passage. And Jesus walks alongside them. He accompanies them on that journey. And as they walk along, he listens to them. And they tell him everything that's been going on in Jerusalem. They share their pain and their grief and their sense of loss and hopelessness that things haven't worked out the way they'd expected or wanted them to. Jesus meets them where they're at. He understands the reality. After listening, he moves from a more physical to a spiritual accompaniment. And starting with Moses and going through the prophets, he begins to explain the scriptures to them, all the passages that talk of him. Jesus connects the scriptures to the lived experience of the disciples in order to help them understand, in order for them to realise the person of Jesus as revealed in the scriptures, but also to make sense of all that's been going on. That's why for me it's really important that no matter how young or old we are, we all have someone who accompanies us on that journey. Someone that we trust, who can explain the scriptures to us and can help us make sense of what God is asking of us in our daily lives. The second theme is encounter. Now these were disciples. They would have been part of the wider group of the followers of Jesus. They would have heard loads of stories of everything going on, and they were probably present at some of the miracles. But they didn't know Jesus. They'd never had a personal encounter with him. The encounter on the road to Emmaus was so personal that it transformed them. It allowed them to recognise him in the breaking of the bread. It transformed their grief into joy. And that's exactly what happens when we meet Jesus, when we have a personal encounter with him. It completely changes us. It's important for us to know Jesus in the scriptures and to understand the scriptures, but it's when we have a personal encounter with Jesus in our daily lives that we are transformed and things are never the same again. The joy that the disciples experienced in this encounter was so great that their hearts burned within them. And that leads me on to the third theme, which is witness. After this happened, when they recognised Jesus in the breaking of the bread, it tells us that they rushed straight back to Jerusalem, back another 7 miles, because they had to share with others what had happened. Their joy was so great they couldn't keep it to themselves, the joy of the encounter. And that's exactly what happens with us. When we have an experience of Jesus in our daily life, we don't want to keep it to ourselves, we want to share it with everyone. St Francis of Assisi speaks about preaching the gospel at all times and when necessary use words. And Pope Francis tells us about the gospel of joy. But that's exactly what we are called to do in our daily lives. We are called to preach the gospel at all times, but not through words, through our joy. We are called to be disciples of joy. Now this week I've been keeping a little eye on your social media, and I know that the theme has been Arise, and that you have all had different challenges, or some people have been taken over each day. I would like to leave you with a challenge now for the week ahead as we enter this new week. And this is my challenge to you. Try to find little ways each day at home, on social media, with friends and family, in whatever way you can or would like to be a disciple of joy. How will you help other people encounter Jesus through your joy? Good luck and God bless.